Happy Thursday. This is Ernie again. I'm that guy who had $6 in his checking account to having now millions. One of the most common questions that I've received is, how much money do I need in order to do that selling call strategy? So I want to discuss that today. But before you do, when my wife saw this morning, dressed like this, she actually asked me, hey, did you get a new job selling brawny paper towel? So I apologize. It's maybe a little too festive, but yeah, this is what I decided to wear today. Anyway, let's discuss. And I'm going to share a Excel spreadsheet. I know not everybody's a big fan of it, but let me share this so that you'll be able to see the difference between having not enough money and what is the right threshold of amount of money you need. And again, this is just an illustrative example. Market will fluctuate depending on it, whether you can get 1% or not. It might change. But if you do this consistently, the type of return that you can get is enormous, and type of weekly income you can get is enormous. So let's go. So just like Mara stock, let's assume that it's $20 per share. And let's just say you have $2,000 in investment. That means you have one contract or 100 shares. So every week, if you follow this strategy, you'll be able to either buy one share, because you're going to get about $20, or you get to take out $20 every week. Even if you reinvest, the number of shares only goes up by one share each. So for you to leverage compounding and sell more contracts, the number of weeks it's going to take is 100 weeks. That's almost 2 years. So for 2 years, you can only buy one share, or you could take out $20 at a time for 1 year. Maybe that's sufficient enough, because that gives you $80 a month. And maybe that's 1 week worth of groceries, or it's sufficient enough to pay the phone bill. But let's see what happens if you're able to buy 1,000 shares. If you have $20,000 to buy 1,000 shares of Mara, then yeah, you still get $10 or $200 that you could buy, either take out or buy 10 additional shares. But what you will see is, because you are getting enough money, by the time it's week 10, then you have enough money to buy 100 more shares, which means you can have 11 contracts rather than 10 contracts. And when you're able to sell 11 contracts, you now have an option to buy 11 more shares or take out $220. And if you continue to do this, by the time it's week 18, or actually week 19, you have enough money to buy, because you're keep buying, or if you decide to keep buying, now you can sell up to 12 contracts, because now you have 1,201 shares. So if you decide, I have enough shares, then you could just milk it and get $240 a week. Or if you say, I want more, then you can continue to reinvest. And I don't want to go through one by one, but by the time it's week 28 over here, week 28 over there, you would save enough money to buy 13 contracts. Then it's going to give you $260. And if you want to continue to buy rather than taking money out, see how it used to take longer, but now from week 29 to 35, that's 6 weeks. Now you can write 14 contracts. And by the time it's 42 weeks, now you can get 15 contracts. So more and more you invest with potentially 1,000 shares, you can extract a lot more down the road rather than only having one share. So this is the power of compounding. Yeah, there's a compounding with the dividend reinvestment, but if you are to do this type of compounding with call options, you'll be able to get a lot faster. So if you just persevere through 1 year, rather than getting $200 a week, now you can get $320 a week. And this is without getting your stock exercise or option exercise. We're not even considering that profit. This is just purely based on options. That's what you're able to get. I know this spreadsheet might be overwhelming, but let me summarize in simple words. If you only have money to buy one contract and decide to invest rather than taking money out, or even if you take money out, whichever route that you want to take, you'll be stuck at 1% for a very long time. But if you continue to save and invest and not take that money out, but reinvest, then that $200 will eventually become $320 by end of the year. So the key takeaway is, for you to reap the benefit of compounding, you need to save enough money that will enable you to buy more than 100 shares, more than 200 shares. I typically go with 1,000 because it's just easy for me to calculate in my head. It could be 300. Yeah, it could be 400 shares. But you need to have enough money to buy more than 100 shares or even 200 shares. And not everybody has that money. And that's why I'm always telling people in my other videos to minimize your spending so that you can save more and be able to receive this type of weekly benefit without actually lifting a couple fingers. Hope this was useful.